Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This is the second in a hopefully three-part series released over the 2024 holiday season of games played using my silly mod or fan expansion for War of the Ring called Reverse War of the Ring. And this one I was able to, play against Vanali. So I was able to reach out to her and she agreed to play a game. The premise of the game, if you haven't seen the first video, I recommend you go back and see that. But the premise of the mod is that I have swapped decks. So I'm looking at the Shadow hand here, and I will be playing as Shadow in this game. And I have Smeagol, Helps Nice Master. And I have Kindred of Glorfindel, which you can see recruits Sauron units in Rivendell. And so all the hunt tiles will begin in play. And Smeagol Helps Nice Master removes, or rather they'll go into the pool once the Fellowship reaches Mordor, and the tile cards will remove them from play. Whereas the free people, she did accidentally draw two strategy cards. There she fixed that. Foul Thing from the Deep has the possibility to help the Fellowship, and Fighting Uruk-hai makes sieges with Isengard units worse. So I'll be highlighting some of the cards as we go. Apologies if I don't dwell on one long enough for you. And this is, fairly well into the development of the game of the mod. There's probably a few more changes that'll happen yet. For instance, I need to rework the Eagles are coming, but that'll come up later. So let's jump on into it. Yep, all the tiles go in the pool, and I allocate one eye and roll three more. So, yep, at least it's against three swords, so that's pretty good. That'll mean that she won't get to move for free a whole bunch. And with those tiles in hand, or with those cards in hand, a Palantir's not super great, even with Gandalf in play. So one move and safe. And this game was played on voice. We tried to make the chat help that, but I'll do my best. So I just go ahead and remove Smeagol Helps Nice Master, since that Palantir wasn't going to do a whole lot anyway. Palantir draws into Isildur's Bane, which is pretty good. I move to Gorgoroth from Barad-dûr. Isildur's Bane gets played and draws an eye. So she just gets to remove an eye from the pool, which is pretty good. I go ahead and put Isengard to war, and the Fellowship moves again, is hit this time for a 2 reveal. So Gandalf is killed, and she decides to go high pass, being nervous about all the shenaniganery I could pull. So that's fun. She draws into Balrog, unfortunately, which would help her through Moria. And King is revealed, which is pretty good against Minas Morgul. I draw into Wizard's Staff one turn late, so fair's fair. If you're going to get a card too late, I'll get a card too late. And Help Unlooked For, which that effect does not really help the Shadow, but no quarter is pretty good. Okay. One eye allocated. No more rolled, so there's my musters. And there's musters for the free people, and no will, so that's good. Fellowship hides with a muster. Saruman comes into play. Fellowship passes. Sauron goes to war. Fellowship passes. Southrons and Easterlings go towards war. King is revealed, gets played with a muster, and I remember asking, are you sure you don't want to use your Palantir? And there was an idea of some variety, so it kills 3 regulars and a Nazgul and Minas Morgul. So that's annoying. That's pretty good. Shadow draws a card and gets King Bran's men, so that's nice. Elves go towards war. South Rune Southrons move north, and Gorgoroth to Moranon. Palantir draws, and its shadow is moving. So, or rather a swarm of bats, which swarm of bats is pretty good. Moranon goes, Blackgate goes to Daggerline. So, quote unquote standard game. Fellowship's moved twice, mustered a couple times. Shadow is moved towards the dew line. The South Rune move is non-standard, but collect our dice. Shadow gets I Will Go Alone, which almost never will do anything, but and Path of the Woses, which could be pretty fun. But Sudden Strike is really good for Shadow. Vanali draws into Lidless Eye, which can take eyes out of the hunt pool, and Corsairs, which allows you to attack Umbar. And actually there is a mistype here, and we address this later. The Deadly Strife should be both armies subtract 2 to all their dice. I forgot to grab Corsairs on this one and haven't updated the file yet. So, but yeah, still a pretty good card. 1 eye allocated, 2 more rolled, but no movement. But no will and no movement for the Fellowship either, so fair's fair. Fellowship passes. Shadow draws into Elven Rope, since none of these were playable cards. And kills, I think there was Wizard Staff. Yep, kills Wizard Staff. Fellowship uses an Elven Ring to move. Is hit for a 3. So that's good. Draws randomly into Mary, who goes back to Rivendell. Shadow plays Elven Rope, removing Elven Rope from the hunt pool. Elves go down towards war. Southrons and Easterlings go to war. Westamnet and Old Forest Road, just a standard game, folks. I, as Shadow, use the Elven Ring to move on out. Try and go get some stuff done out on the map. Elves go to war. I guess I could get the Witch King. Do I go ahead and do it? I go ahead and do it. So, but the elves being able to muster this long before I get there is pretty good. So, unfortunately, we're both going to overdraw. Free Peoples draws into Morgul Wound, which heals the Fellowship, pretty good. And Shadow Lengthens, which is, wow, that's another good card for the Free Peoples. Although, situational, right? You have to have a couple people at war before it'll really do anything. Shadow draws into Eagles Are Coming, which again, right now it allows you to attack. I'm going to change that to be to spawning new Nazgul at some point here. And then Faramir's Rangers, which can make units in Osgiliath or kill units in Osgiliath. So that's pretty fun. I have no idea what Free People discarded because the log is not helpful. And so, yep. Fellowship declares 1 space over, 1 eye allocated, no more rolled, and there's your wills. So Gandalf's maybe 2 turns late, but that's not too bad. Gandalf, in fact, goes into Lorien because there are no Ent cards for the Free People anymore, so Fangorn doesn't really do much good. Shadow armies are moving. Lorien musters. I was pretty scared, and I attack Lorien. I was pretty scared there was going to be a field battle there. I mean, it's 7 HP versus 7 HP, and you have the Balrog, right? I mean, the Free People Balrog gets you a pre-roll of 3. I don't know. I feel like maybe a field battle there would be warranted, but Vanali chooses to go under siege. I move out of Eastrune and into Northern Ravanian and Vale of Carnan, which, yep, that's good. Free People passes. Old Forest Road, no card, because there are no scouts for the Free People. They're all in the Shadow player deck now. Elves muster in Woodland Realm. I go sit on top of Woodland Realm. I draw a character card. It's Gwai here, which lets me move Nazgul as if there was movement was 4. So that's hilarious and not helpful. But a Daring Defiance could be. Didn't see what I threw. Apologies. That's weirdly hard to track for me. Yeah, we talk about Gwai here allowing Saruman to move to Lorien, but he's not allowed to leave Isengard. So a muster is spent to put an elite in Moria. Fellowship moves and is safe. Shadow, I don't like any of these cards. I can't really make use of them. I wanted one more attack to attack Dale with Veil of Karnan and then play King Brandsman, but I just didn't have time. So I draw a card. It's Mirror of Galadriel, which lets me turn a will into a sea. Not super helpful, so I get rid of it. All right. So if this was a standard game, it's turn 5. Lorien's been mustered a little bit. Woodland Realm got a little bit of help, but all the Shadow Nations are at war. So that's what's going in the Shadow people's favor. Fellowship is, 4 steps out on the 11-step way to Mordor. So I'd say pretty favored, although and Gandalf's under siege in Lorien. Although I probably mistakenly don't force that issue as hard as I could. Free People draws into Black Captain Commands, which recruits units with Aragorn. And Horde from the East, which can delete Southron and Easterling units. This one is, and you can see this one's correct, that it subtracts 2 from all in combat. So, I as Shadow drawn to Elven Cloaks, which cancels that. And Spirit of Mordor, which is a Scouts, so that's not going to matter, but that's funny. We both discard some cards. I get rid of the Scouts. And I didn't see what the other ones were. Apologies, it's so hard to track if the log doesn't help you there. Fellowship declares over to Old Forest Road. 1 eye allocated, 2 eyes rolled, and only 1 more move for the Fellowship. So that's pretty rough. She begins by playing Horde from the East to kill Far-Harad, but then we talk about how Deadly Strife is subtract, not add. There was a miscommunication about that. So instead, tries to play Morgulwound, is confused, and moves. The move is safe. I delete Elven Cloaks from the pool. So the pool is actually pretty decent. A lot of reveals yet. And then I've got all 4 hunt tile, or all 4 red tiles still in the pool. So that's pretty good. Woodland Realm is attacked. I play a card. So it's advantageous position for the Shadow and Deadly Strife for the Free Peoples. So I'm still just hitting on 6s, but they're also hitting on 6s. Nothing coming in and nothing going out. So, okay. Press. I press and draw into Eomer. So a Valor is good, except I don't have any more elites all of a sudden. I do pick a card anyway. Path of the Woes is for a 4 dice sudden strike. 2 hits. That's pretty good. So, and then 1 more on the roll. 1 more coming out. So, decent. Woodland Realm is going to fall. Gondor is manually mustered down 1. I make some Nazgul. For a lot of this game, I was like, oh, I'm going to use Eagles Are Coming. And then I just didn't have time. So, Rohan is manually mustered down to towards war. Woodland Realm is hit again. No card. And I luck the heck into my 2 hits, one outgoing. So that was pretty key for me. I didn't have any cards to help with that. My Valor couldn't work. Heroic Death isn't helpful for Shadow most of the time. Shield Wall. So Free People draw into Shadows Gather. So they have Shadows Gather, Shadow Lengthens, Morgulwound, and Corsairs of Umbar. So a pretty stacked hand. Dale is attacked from the Witch King. I get my 1 hit, and there's no Free People Scouts to worry about, so that's nice. North goes to war. Karok musters an elite, which is, of course, annoying. And then I get King Brandsman, so which gets me to Book of Marzar Bul. I'm probably going to rework this one at some point, but it allows you to deactivate the dwarves and put them back to the top of the track if they're not already at war. We'll see if I change that to allowing when they're at war. It's already not a good card as the top effect, but advantageous is good. So, all right. Draw into our new hands. I remember thinking, man, I've drawn a lot of cards that I had to discard this game. But that's how that goes sometimes, right? I draw into Grimbjorn and File. So I get to get rid of all the blue tiles if I want. She draws into Threats and Promises and Shelob, so she can get rid of Shelob. That'd be pretty nice. And I'm not currently attacking with Isengard, so Reverse Devilry of Orthanc doesn't really help. And all the nations have been activated, so Reverse Threats and Promises isn't doing you any good. So that's thrown, and I didn't see what the other one was. So Fellowship declares into Karok. 2 eyes, 1 eye allocated. I say 1, and then I allocate 2. No one noticed. We're going with I allocated 2. Very strange. Don't know what happened there. Free People's pretty good roll for some movement. Moves, and she's trying to get revealed so she can play Morgul Wound and heal off that corruption before it gets above 3, which is pretty funny. And she can't get revealed. I refuse to help. I muster in some more Nazgul. Fellowship moves again and is safe. I just refuse to participate. North Ruin comes to Vale of Karnan, Farharad to Near Harad, so the Southrons and Easterlings are on the move. Shelob's lair is removed from the pool. I move a bunch of Nazgul. 1 on to Karok, which is too late to do anything here, and 1 to Northern Ravanian for later. I'm not sure that was a good move. Probably not worth my time. But that's what I did. Iron Hills from the Southrons, from Vale of Karnan specifically. I get my hit. She gets 1 back. Sauron elites mustered in Moria. The Rohan gets 1 step from war, so not quite sure. Yeah, I mean, that's decent move. I might have put Gondor to war just to start mustering, but I start mustering in Orthanc. And then a Shadows Gather. Yeah, and I remember this was a pretty funny play. So that 1 Karok elite gets to jump into Erebor. So that was nice, good timing. Sort of a Dane Ironfoots. Sort of. I go ahead and sit on top of Erebor. I don't bring everybody because I'm going to bring over the Iron Hills army. So yeah, Free People draws into Shadows on the Misty Mountains, which could kill some of my guys in Moria, which would be pretty nice. I draw into Axe and Bow, which can deal corruption. And Riders of Theoden, so a daylight. Free People draw into Nazgul Search, which allows the Fellowship to hide if there are no Nazgul on them. But you get to move all the Nazgul first, so it's pretty good. We kill some cards. Fellowship declares over under the Northern Ravanian Nazgul. 1 eye allocated, 2 more rolled. Really low on the attacks. Again, I've had so few moves. But, so is the Free People. And, oh, look, 4 moves, enough to sprint from Mordor. So, okay. Safe on the first move. I play Axe and Bow. Not safe on the second move, but it's only a 1. I go ahead and make it a 2 with reverse Axe and Bow. Random's drawn, and it's Boromir. So that's efficient. I remove File, so the hunt pool will be 3 of the 4 red tiles and those tiles. So that's pretty good. Fellowship moves again. Is hit barely. for a 1 reveal. And I know I skipped the rerolls. I just figured I'd grab them later if it mattered. So I'm glad to get a reveal out of them, make them spend all their dice. Armies in Iron Hills move to Erebor and Near Harad to West Rondor. So Erebor's might hold. Three elites is a lot. But Dol Amroth has not been reinforced at all, so maybe I get a cheap Dol Amroth at some point. Fellowship hides with Strider. And I attack Erebor. So I get to play a card. Probably advantageous, right? Nope, I go for the Daylight. So it's reverse Mumakil, which is excellent use of that here, versus Daylight. 1 hit. That's it. And then 3 on the back, but a bonus 1 because of reverse Mumakil. So all of a sudden, Erebor's looking like a stronghold. And that's annoying. Fellowship takes the final move into Moranon, is hit, but it's not a reveal, it's just a 1. So that's sad. And the Mumakil factory boots up in North Rune to make sure we can take Erebor. So I draw into Ents, specifically Ents Rage and Tom Bombi, which has some uses but not really here. Free people draw into the reverse New Powers Rising, which is pretty good, and Lure of the Ring. So that's pretty good. Reverse Lure of the Ring's pretty good. Yep. All right, we discarded some cards. So if this was a normal game, where it would be at? Shadow's at 3 points. Lorien's gonna be a bit of a pill, but Gondor's looking nice and juicy. In a normal game, you'd be worried strongly about Círdan's, Imrahil, but none of those are in play. Fellowship has, -4 corruption entering Mordor. Things are looking pretty good for the Free Peoples. But in reverse game, I have no idea. I've only played this maybe 10 times. 1 eye allocated, 2 eyes rolled. 5 movement for the Fellowship. They might just sprint up the whole mountain this round. Oh no. So 1 move. It's a red tile. Yay! Buys me some time. So eat the corruption and revealed. Okay, that's pretty good. The Mumakil get moving, and the reinforcements start moving towards Lorien. Fellowship plays Lure of the Ring to get Boromir, and instead of allowing a heal, I go ahead and let him appear in Minas Tirith. The Mouth of Sauron arrives 1 turn too late to go with the army from Moria, because I didn't think about that. Fellowship hides. Armies consolidate in Dale and Lorien. Fellowship takes another shot at a move, and it's another red tile. Oh no. So, oh man. So I take a turn to move Nazgul around. I reinforce Erebor. Rohan is manually put to war, and Erebor's attacked. Deadly Strife versus Advantageous Position's pretty good. 2 hits still, though. I roll lucky, but 2 hits out because there was 1 too many rerolls. So, yep. Press draw. I draw into Imrahil or a shield wall, but I'll probably play the Advantageous Position. Yep, Advantageous Position versus Reverse Onslaught. I get 3 hits on the incoming, 2 hits out. They choose to not onslaught. Yep. I'm not quite sure why they played that card there, but that's all right. No card, and I get it. So a whole round went by. The Fellowship gained corruption and lost companions. Lorien was reinforced and Erebor was taken. So that was an awful round for the free people. Not sure you could have got much worse. Now the hunt pool's not terrible now, but there's a lot of reveals. You still got Strider, so maybe you can make something happen here. You got Reverse New Powers Rising, so you can kind of turn off Isengard. Hill Trolls, that's a good start, and Cruel Weather is a little too late. The reverse Cruel Weather's pretty good. There is Another Way. I draw into reverse There Is Another Way as the shadow player, so that's good. This is a good time to get it. And reverse Fear Fire Foes, which, yep, I throw. One eye allocated. One more rolled. And they roll 4 movement, 5 if you use an Elven Ring again. And they don't have to worry about reverse Day Without Dawn, although reverse Day Without Dawn would be really good here. Reverse New Powers Rising is played, so it deletes a bunch of Isengard. Lorien's attacked. Shadow card, or a character card, I'm assuming Daring Defiance. Gandalf does shine. And Morgul Wound is used as a card, probably to just bait my Daring Defiance, I think. I think we'd talked a little bit about that. No hits on the incoming, and I have sacrificed the Mouths rerolls for Daring Defiance, but none coming back out. I press, and now I use a different card. It's Valor versus Durin's Bane. The reverse Durin's Bane hits nothing, though, or hits 1. Okay, so, better than nothing. 2 hits incoming, 2 hits outgoing. Press. No card versus the reverse We Come to Kill. Little bit desperate, but desperate times. 2 more hits incoming, 2 more hits outgoing. And that's a stop. So probably can still take it. 6 hit points versus 3, but it's going to be a little tight. Fellowship moves. Hits a 0 reveal. Good. Keep them nice and slow. Fortunately, I have reversed Celeborns, so that's pretty good. And I get to draw into Círdan's Ships. Also pretty good. Reverse Círdan's Ships is pretty good. Fellowship hides. Lorien's attacked again. No card. Versus a Cruel as Death. So that's pretty good, except I just roll 3 6s. So the dice have suddenly turned in my favor, and it's looking tight. It's looking tight all of a sudden. Fellowship moves again, and it's an eye for 3 reveals, so you lose Strider. That's for you, generic pie. Pelargir's attack, no card. There's my hit. Pinged 1 back. The Fellowship, or Gondor Elite, is put into Dol Amroth because I have enough dice to hit it once, so you need it to hold for at least 1 round. I spend one of my musters making an elite with Círdan's Ships because I only did 1. I should have done 2. Whoops. That probably needs a nerf, honestly. Getting 2 units, I don't know. We'll see. And reverse Power Too Great, so a no quarter. I flip the Mouth to move armies. Attack Dol Amroth. And then I play Imrahil to get another elite. So Dol Amroth's in some serious trouble. I didn't take my shot at the victory. Should I have taken it? Probably should have taken it. But the Fellowship would need to make, 1 hide and 3 moves against that pool. I don't see that happening, but maybe that was a little risky. And I have killed Gandalf, so they're down to 4 dice. Shadow draws into Breaking of the Fellowship. Maybe that'll come into play in some other game. Free People draws into Breaking of the Fellowship, which could matter someday, but the Dread and Despair is kind of nice. Oleg High is okay. Shadow gets Mithril Coat and Sting, which is pretty good and advantageous. 1 eye allocated, 4 more rolled. Fellowship does not get nearly enough movement. Pelargir's retaken, so that's annoying. Ford's is reinforced. DA's attacked. So it's advantageous versus we come to kill, and that's a really good we come to kill. Two hits incoming, one hit outgoing. I reduce an elite as the casualties. Yes. Unfortunately the we come to kill does nothing. Yes. I don't know why the reroll there. I press. No quarter. And Dol Amaroth falls with a whimper. So Elven Ring to reinforce Pelargir. I move. And we note that with an Elven Ring, the mouth, and a hybrid die, I can take Edoras. And if they block West Emnet, I can just go to East Emnet and move through Fold. So and of course, Pelargir is pretty doomed anyway. So we call it there. The game suddenly took a harsh turn. Those 2 red tiles, I mean, imagine the Free People is even one space farther up and not revealed. This game is almost certainly theirs. Like they just have to pass a roughly 50-50 to not get revealed and then not draw the red tile. So the game took a pretty harsh turn on Vanali right at the end. But I still think it was a fun game. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah. Merry Christmas to all of you and Happy New Year, depending on when I post this. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.